Welcome to part 2 of building an oil rig on land from scratch. So in the last video, we demonstrated how to set up these rods to be able to attach we set up this system to attach rods. We have a camera, we have these buttons that we made, and we have the system that can put the rods into the wellhead. We're going to now be looking at the drill swivel, the pump jack, and the slurry filter, and how to finish this design so we can actually start to pump out oil. Now again, bear with me as I figure out how this all works, because this is my first time doing it as well. We're just going to throw these down here. We should send for a guy with a semi-truck to come and pick them up. Where is that animal? Animal. There it is. Buddy. Oh my goodness. Get out of here. Oh, I can't even pick it up. Oh, I can pick it up. Pet. Pet. Yeah. Where can I... Oh, I can't pick it up. I can only pet it. Or shoot it. If it keeps bothering me. Alright. Where is the gun? There we go. Keep walking, friend. Just keep walking. Right on out of here. I don't want PETA to come after me. And I love animals, so we'll let it be. Okay, back to the task at hand. So, we've set this up. Now, I've gone ahead and made some minor changes while I was waiting for the first video to upload. So what I went ahead and did is I made this track end right here, which will mean that the actual wellhead will be in perfect alignment with this when it's at the end of the track, so I don't have to play around moving it left and right like I did in the last video. Then also, what I did is moved some of these. They used to kind of be built about up to here, I think. I got rid of those to have a free area for the wellhead right here and for the swivel, which I'm assuming that guy, this one, is gonna have to have clear access to make its way down as we lower it on this tower. So I went ahead and did that. Otherwise, I didn't do anything. Those two steps are things everyone can do, so I didn't need to show them. But as for the rest, we're going to go through in detail. So, we need this swivel to be mounted on the top. And the way I'm thinking to do that is to have either a system where a pipe will be fed into this. Let's see if this works actually. I'm just gonna drop my camera down lower. No need for the camera to be that high. We'll delete that. So now the camera is here. It may not give us a full picture, but I'm just all I need the camera is to show me whether this pipe is aligned with this thing. And even that doesn't really work properly. I may need... Anyways, we're gonna leave that here. What I was thinking, better me show it than demonstrate what I'm saying. Or better demonstrate than just say what I'm saying. This. So we attach it like that. We need some kind of other connectors, or not connectors, rather these nodes. Let's make a platform for it to come on. Okay, on the bottom, perhaps. Now it's clashing with the camera. No, it's not. There we go. Is that right over the wellhead? No, that's in the wrong spot. We needed one space over. So we got to move up this thing to here. And we need to make a new track right here. Like that. this thing we're gonna delete. We'll add a couple of blocks so the swivel can be attached. Oh my goodness, and we're still clashing with that camera. Alright, the camera... No, I want the camera. Anyway, this can go up. I still don't know if this is the right way to operate this, so maybe the whole thing's flawed. But let's find out. Because the update just came today and I was watching some other tutorial videos, but in addition to watching other people's videos, I kind of want to see my own approach to it and if it's at all possible. So let's see if this works. So now that we put the swivel up here, the idea that I'm having in my head is that we're gonna pull the swivel up to there, let's say, do all this stuff with positioning the rods, and once the rod is in place, the swivel can make its way down until it attaches to the end of the last rod, and once it's attached to the last rod, we can pump the fluid through. So fluid port to transfer drilling slurry from the attached rod linked to the well. This is fluid out, and this is fluid in that we're attaching. Because this thing is on a system where it moves up and down, we have two options. Either we're gonna put all our slurry stuff on the swivel to move it, to make it move up or down, or more realistically, we're gonna have just a simple hose connector on either end of this, and we're just gonna be attaching a hose to the slurry in and slurry out of this thing. If that's how it works, which I still don't fully understand. In real life, the slurry isn't reused. You end up with tailings ponds and stuff. Like, it's not a... You have to keep pumping more water in. So I need to figure out how the system works. But in theory, we have this. Now we're back to our little bit of a controlling... a little bit of a confusing control panel here. We have these two that operate the top and bottom joiner. We have the left one that operates the connectors. Okay, so and then we have this that the yellow moved the main one. This moves the rotary table, which doesn't matter so much for us right now. We can put it off to here, align it. This is a terrible control panel. Anyways, just because I hate how all this looks doesn't mean that this can't be a nice little control room after, properly oriented. You could have it overlooking what you're working on. It can even rotate. You could do something really cool like that. But for now, let's just leave it weird like this. We're gonna need to add a device or connectors that move this up and down, and then here we have these guys. So we'll do that. We're going to copy this and move it off to this side here, and then let's see what other color we're missing. We got pinks, we got yellows, greens. We'll use another shade of blue. Sure. We'll connect the electricity to all this. We'll plug this into... No. We don't need that. I was wrong. What we need instead are buttons. So buttons that move it up and down, just like this. And reconnect these two. So this button is to move it up, and this button's to move it down. That's fine. This button's to clamp the rod to it, and this one's to tell us if the rod is clamped. Self-explanatory. That little section makes sense. That arrow's up, which is good. It matches the arrow up. I've also added another one of these here, actually. That was the thing I forgot to mention, in addition to the modifications I did while the video was off. Okay, so that's there. That will now operate that. So now we have this thing down here, the rotary table, so that's gonna spin. We have this, which is gonna Swivel for transferring fluids through a drill rod. The swivel connects to the end of a drill rod and has fluid ports for drilling, slurry, and crude oil. Pumping a supply of drilling slurry through a drill rod is required. I think I understand. So this, I don't know if that's where the rod goes through or if that's where you attach this thing. Maybe. Okay. That is that. So that goes on the top like this. And of course now we can't because we have... And that's why this thing's so tall. Okay, everything's making sense. I'm sounding like one of those, like a teenage boy or something, figuring out how like a thing works in science class. Like, oh, that just clicked in my head. That type of reaction. Let's see if we could actually do this, where this thing can be placed here. And as long as it doesn't clash with our... Well, clashes for now. There. Alright. This thing's going to be so top heavy, so this may not even be possible. Like, we may actually need to... we may actually need to have it a little different. Like, you may have to have these running on both sides, like so, with connectors to prevent the whole thing from tipping over. And then you run into a bit of a problem with these rods, but what you may have to do is then have like a, you could have it offset actually, where it runs on a track that is because now it's only on one side, it's kind of eccentrically balanced. So in theory I'd make a second set on the left side here and then maybe make it go either behind this altogether or something. But let's see if this works. So now that I've added these two things, I'm just going to delete them as I was doing. So now this is the only thing we'd really need to put. But this isn't complete. So we found out that this thing has the crude oil coming through it. So the slurry, this is the slurry, whereas the crude oil is going to come out of here when we pump it. And this actually makes a lot more sense now, because this thing, you can pump it like... Interesting. You can increase this like that, throw in another one of these things for good measure, like that, maybe here, like so. And now that that's attached, technically you may be able to attach it directly. There we go. So now that piston is attached to this linear track base. So now if we were to move this up and down, we'd get our pumping motion, and that would start pumping this out. That's at the very end, so technically we don't need that now, but it's interesting to think and see that that is one way we could do it. Now that's why this thing's so tall. Like, this track now has to even be taller than this, because what if you have to move this up to move that up? Like, they're all kind of independent actions and independent items that move on their own. So we need a pretty tall tower, as we're finding out here. Okay, and what I'm going to do is copy these. This is going to be for my top. So up, down, that's how we pump this thing. Now what is worth noting is it's going to be kind of tough to move. Well, what I can do actually, is this, when this thing moves, like this guy, I'm going to make it automatically trigger this to move up, and same thing here. So when you're trying to move this part, it'll all move together. if that makes sense. Whereas you can independently move the pump on the right hand side here. And let's add electricity to everything, including this top one and including this. Okay. We'll save the rig. Okay. What else do we know? So we've done all that. The last thing would then be our slurry, because we need to have slurry pumping through this, as well as this spinning, as well as a downward pressure of the whole thing, which I don't know if we're putting downward pressure using like these tracks, or if we're putting downward pressure using the actual rod up and down, or is that too like weak? Like maybe the rod up and down is only just for positioning the rod in a place, not for actual burrowing or digging. We'll find out in a bit. Okay. This guy is the last step, as we said. So we're gonna see where we need to put it, but pretty much if we go to read the description of it, a filter that slowly desaturates slurry, a pipe with a solids filter that consumes fresh water and slowly converts saturated slurry to slurry and allows free flow of slurry. You have water in, water out, slurry in, slurry out. Like, I don't know how this is gonna work, to be honest, at all. What I'm gonna try to do, and I don't know if we need a pump or not, doesn't quite explain all that, but what I'm gonna try is we're gonna create a big water tower here. It looks like a distillation tower, which may be what we use it for in another update, but regardless, we have this. We're gonna throw this top cover on, and then we'll put this thing on the top here as such, and then we don't need it here anymore. So what do we have? We have this one, which is slurry out. Okay, and what we know is our slurry is going to be attached via hose. Then we have here slurry in, which is going to be attached via hose. We have this, which is water in, which will be going down into the reservoir here. So we can make it go like this. One away. So close. There we go. And then make it enter in here. There. That's our water on one side. And then we have this one, which is our water on the other side. Guess I could have turned on my symmetrical tool. And of course, I didn't even make it symmetrical. Or did I? Oh, I did. Cool. We'll put this here and this here with the same inlet and outlet. Do we need pumps? I don't know. Let's see. Fluid. We'll have our fluid spawn here. We're gonna tell it to spawn ourselves. Oh, slurry. Interesting. Fresh water. Okay, so we'll have the fresh water in this reservoir here. Slurry. We have to have slurry come from somewhere. So I guess we also need a slurry in, slurry out. Is it a closed system or not? That's what I'm wondering now. Like, are we putting... Is this the wrong way? Maybe it is, because maybe the water... This. Water out. So this is water leaving the system. Whereas this is water entering the system, so we may need a constant feed. Water input. It doesn't explain. Whereas our slurry... Saturated slurry input. And this one is... slurry output, saturated slurry. Okay, whereas here, this one is fluid out. It doesn't explain whether it's the slurry or not. Oh. Fluid in, fluid port to transfer drilling slurry through an attached rod. So this is to attach drilling slurry, and then this one is the same thing, slurry. So slurry in, slurry out. It doesn't say whether it's saturated or not, which is a little confusing. And what I'm wondering now is, do we keep it as a closed system, or is it being like fed from a place, like maybe this one is our output. So what I'm guessing is this we can safely attach via hose our output to our input if this is our input side. Yes, so slurry in. So now we have it. So slurry out into slurry in. And then on this side, we have this leaving. So this is leaving. I guess so. I guess the purpose of this is we're pumping it into this one. Like the slurry will come into here on the top, make its way down these filters, blah, 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 into this and back there. So the slurry is in a closed loop. Do we need to add slurry at some point, like an actual slurry type thing to slurry in? Like this one here is slurry output, but maybe we need a reservoir like this. I mean, I'm just gonna make it small compared to the huge water one, but just to get the point across, because I don't know this yet, to be honest. Alright, well, that's enough. So this is our slurry, and we'll take a fluid spawner and we're going to spawn a slurry. Okay, so now whereas this is slurry out, so slurry out into our slurry tank, let's call it, and then here we're gonna have this intake system with another hose connector. That's right here. So that's our slurry out, and this is our slurry in. So now it's a closed system. It goes through here, it goes through the reservoir, and yada yada. Again, we need everything on a hose because this thing's physically moving. The only way around that would be to attach this onto the piston itself and have everything move together. Then you could have it on pipes. But the issue, my fear with that, is then it'll be just way too heavy. So this way we keep it separate. Okay, now here we have fresh water. So it's fine. We brought it in with a tanker truck or whatever. So we filled this thing up with water. Now we see that our water comes in and our water comes out. A pipe with solids filter that consumes fresh water to slowly convert saturated slurry to slurry. So it actually will consume the water. A filter that slowly desaturates slurry. Okay, so why then we have this, which is our slurry. Oh, no, slurry, and I deleted the wrong one. This one here, our one's on the back. I'm just gonna respawn it down here to try to understand what's going on. Okay, water input. So that would make sense. We're pulling water from this reservoir up into this filter, so we're pulling our water. In theory, what is a water out? What are we outputting in this case? I'm just talking and thinking out loud, guys. If it consumes fresh water, what are we outputting? A pipe that solids filter with a solids filter that consumes fresh water to slowly convert. So the slurry is converted. That's what makes sense. Our slurry in, slurry out, that makes sense. Why is our water consumed? So anyways, I'm just going to make it a fixed loop like this because I can't understand what a water output is right now. Water output. It's a good question. We're not putting in a tailings pond. Like, it's not like it's, you know, polluted water, for example, that we have to dump somewhere. Maybe it is. Maybe we're going to have to dump it out. but in this case, maybe a closed thing works. And then also these hoses may not work, like they may be too short. We may be better off putting longer hoses or winches on this that are going to manually expand and contract when this is further and closer. Like we could use a proximity sensor that tells our winch to expand to 10 meters when things like up there versus go back to 2 meters when it's down here. But this should be what we need right now. This thing doesn't have any controls, so the the filter is automatic. And without a pump, I really don't know. What do we have here? This is our water in. Let's just put a pump, whatever. Because at least now we're, you know, pumping our actual fluid. Alright, fluid out, and we'll just make it reattach to that pipe. This pump, while it does look super cool, it's always annoying when you have a path like this that you add a pump to it and then you have to do that. Anyways, that's fine. We're going to put electrical on this. Do we have electrical and everything? It seems that we do. When do we want it to pump? We want it to pump, I mean, always, who cares? Let's just make it a constant on. I don't want to think about too many different factors right now, so let's just make this pump running. And the slurry thing itself, going through this, maybe also needs a pump. So this is, I believe, our output. Oh. What do we have here? Oh, this is that. There we go. This. Slurry out. So this is now our slurry out going into here. So this will need a pump now. And with our pump, we're going to make sure that it's going in the out direction, which is right here. And we're going to put the same little hose attachment on the end of this. We're going to make sure the pump is also on and given electrical power. So now, in theory, we have our pumps pushing our slurry and our pumps pushing our water through everything. This one, we presumably don't have to attach until we start pumping this up and down to actually get oil out. Let's just put this. Let's see if we could spill oil everywhere. Like, if we do get ourselves far enough to actually get into the oil reserve, let's see if we could actually start shooting oil all over the place. So our pipes are gone. We're gonna have to start from scratch here, which we could do. We have our screen. We don't really see anything properly on it, which is a little annoying. Oh, and we're stuck. We're stuck because of that, and our hoses seem to be getting too tight. Okay. Man, that animal, I could just hear it moaning. Okay, so we came across our problem, which is that this is it gets in the way. Easy fix, actually, we just can't operate it when we're picking up the rods. We're just gonna move this whole thing up. And this may actually be our saving grace, because it's gonna force the cables on the hose anchors. It's gonna force them further apart. And like the way the game works is if we push these cables now to like a distance of 20 meters or something, it's gonna stay 20 meters. Even like this distance will stay that, if that makes sense. Anyway, just trust me. Yeah, we missed some things. Pull that back down. Why did we miss that? Okay, we have the camera. The camera sucks also. Alright. There we go. And we go to the left. There, that way we don't miss anything. Perfect. Okay. We could move this up to clear that. We could move it up even more, whatever. Okay, and then let's reattach it. There. So what I meant to say was that the hose, like if the length is whatever this length is, that's how it spawns, and it doesn't actually get smaller. Whereas if you attach it with a very small distance, it'll have a problem stretching longer. So now we could actually clear it and move it over. The only thing is, because the weight of this, maybe it'll just want to start sagging down by itself, in which case we'll have to put like a little connector. Is it falling? No? Okay. That works for me. Oh my goodness, it's still stuck here. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Guess I could crush it with the pipe. That'd be a more humane thing, maybe. Alright, let's try this now. If we get onto our board here and move this over, yeah, we can clear it. And I still didn't set the throttle to anything more sensitive, so that's still annoying. And I can't see anything with the camera, so that's doubly annoying. But let's manually take a look then what we have here. Alright, we're kind of right in the center of the two, so let's go a little more to the left, and let's enable our connectors, which would be our clamp rod. We want to clamp it to the bottom one, like we said, and push the bottom one down. So now that we've done that, we could hop down here, which really should be a little platform, but it's fine. Did it connect? Clamp rod true, rod clamped true. Perfect. So that's clamped. And let's see now if we can start to drag this thing not up, obviously. And let's see if we can pull this up more. Yeah, we can. But now it's stretching the cable. Okay, anyway. Oh, wow. Yeah, we probably need those things to be on a winch. Anyway, we've gotten the first part, so we could now pull it up or down as we want. Just putting that here so we could actually lower this thing into the wellhead. Oops, we gotta go far left. And now... is it going still? It is. Cool. So we've actually brought it into the wellhead. That's much easier, just have it very far left. Oh. In you go. Alright. Presumably now it clamped to the actual... oh. Oh no, we're leaving. It clamped to the actual wellhead underneath, the yellow one. Okay, good. Good. So now that's clamped down at the wellhead, and we can see that our orange part is here. And it's spinning for whatever reason, but that doesn't matter. Okay. Now, with that in place, whoops. Something's connecting and disconnecting, but that's okay. So now that one is in place, presumably we can disconnect it from this, because the next step would be now to attach a second rod on top of it. So let's position our... oops. I went to press WASD and I just threw myself off instead of actually pressing my fake WASD. So we're gonna move this. See, we can't move it now because that's in there. That complicates things just a little bit. And that's blocking our way up top. Okay, so the first one's in, but it's not good. we need to have both attached, and then we put it in. So that thing is not helping us at all right now. Okay, let's see if we could raise this up. Okay, we've cleared the ground. Yeah, slow down. Alright, whatever. Oh my goodness. I guess in theory that can be lowered now because we still had a bit of it exposed. Oh, what is happening there? See, this is what I said about this thing maybe needing to be a little more stable. Come back down. What are you doing? Stay there. You come down. Into there. I see. Let's try this. Okay, we're clamped in the actual that thing. Let's bring everything down. Is it lowering itself in? No, it's not. Keep going down. Doesn't want to go down. Oh, we got to move it to the left. Now we got to go down. Beautiful. Okay. So we definitely need a second piece because that's as low as it goes because of the clash. But in theory now, we have, if it was in our wellhead, which it isn't all the way, it's in the hole, but it's not like deep enough in this. The drill isn't deep enough in this. So we gotta get 2 of them on for sure. And once 2 of them are on, we can use this method. And once this is attached, which we are now, so we're better off moving this thing back up. Okay, these cables are messing with us. I have an idea. May resolve our problems. Maybe a bit of a, not a hack, but maybe a bit Mickey Mouse. It's not, call it the best solution. Also, this thing does seem to fall a little bit with the weight. I'm just gonna throw it onto the very top of the tower. I'm gonna throw it up all the way here. And then that's attached to that, that's fine. This is here. Alright, so now the way we have it is these ropes, or rather the cables, are attaching it to these points. I'm gonna do this, where I attach it to the base. So just be a simple double-ended connection like this that reaches up to the top of this. And this one goes to the top of this, and then these ones go here and here. I just forget which one is in and which one's out now. So a bit of a dummy. I believe this is the output one. Yeah, fluid out. So the fluid out we put on the far one, so that's out. And then I believe that was out as well. No, this is out because we need it to filter. So it filters down it, and then this is fluid in because it comes, so it filters down this thing, comes out here and up to there. So hopefully with these types of cables being so long, it won't drag that thing back down. Let's see if that actually works or if I'm just talking smack. See, our hoses are now super extended and it's not pulling it down, which is nice. Okay. Alright. Do we still have a wellhead? Or no, we don't. Okay, it despawned or glitched out somewhere, which is fine with me. It's blocking. It was blocking our way previously. Alright, so let's try that again. If we move this way to position to pick up the first one, we gotta go a little more. Okay, just even a little more. Maybe that's enough. Kind of a little to the left. There. Alright. Oh, we need to turn on our I should have a walkway reaching to that walkway from my little control panel. Anyway, let's attach clamp rod onto the bottom one because that's what we're interested in right now. So let's clamp that one in. Nice. And now let's bring it all the way to the left side and lower it down. Nope, down. Yes. So I have an idea now. Once that's lowered all the way, okay, it attached itself to the actual wellhead. So that's the key now. No, stop it. Oh my goodness, this is super annoying. I should probably just have these on a keypad instead so I could set the numbers myself. There. Deconnect that, or disconnect it. Now let's pull this thing back. There we go. That's what I needed. Okay. Oh, the whole thing is like tilting and stuff. So yeah, it's not the most stable right now. Anyway, with that in there, we can now position our next one and go fetch it. Are we in line with something? Looks like we're not. Yeah, we're definitely not. So this is, the camera kind of works. And that's another one, I guess, but that one we do have. Nope, we're kind of in between two. There. Okay, now we connect this one and let's connect this one, whatever. Let's go crazy. Beautiful. Alright, that's in. Let's disconnect this. We keep the top one connected and let's move it up now. Yes. Okay, now move all this to the very left. Pull it back a little, all the way out. And pull it in, all the way in. All right. And now we stopped this one from moving. Oh, stop. Yeah, these should definitely be on a keypad. Anyway, is it clear? Is this? Yeah, it is. Oh, there we go. They're both in. Now we got to move this one down a little bit, it seems, or this whole thing down a bit. And then this one clamp in. Why is that not connecting yet? They're not close enough. So the bottom one, we got to move this whole thing down a bit. Maybe that was too much. Down some more. Let's move this one down. Or this rather up. We need that button to show up that our two are in there. Oh, it's not. My bad. This is... They're both up there. They should be in this middle one here, not in that one. So in this case, I have to pull this back down. As far as down as it goes. Let's just force it all the way down. Alright. Just make sure it stays in the wellhead. Jeez, come on. There we go. Okay. And then we need to move the whole system. Oh, it didn't move. What's happening now? It's trying to move it. Let's move everything down, down, or rather up, 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 up. To position it so it's in the proper... Oh, okay, this one's in the proper one. So the bottom one is in the splicing area. So now let's stop it from moving. I'm just going to jump up on this thing so I can actually properly control this. Let's go. 0, 0. No, no. Okay, whatever. Close enough. And let's move this down. And this should... Yes! There we did it. Okay. Turn that off. We could disconnect that one. Now we only use... We only use this one now, which is our... Jeez. And we were doing so well, guys. We're just getting some phantom physics glitching out on us. Okay, stop all that. How do we stop this from moving? Oh, that thing at the top is going nuts. Let's move it down a little bit. So we definitely need those to be on a winch system. Nope, not that. This one here. No, it's still going nuts. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on, folks. Okay. Seems to have stabilized, which is at least good. Sounds like something got destroyed. And these two, are they still spliced or no? Well, it's saying connected. Let's start lowering it. It is working together, which is nice. So then it looks like to me that we weren't in the hole all the way, or we have to turn on the rotary spin table maybe. But something wasn't working right. No, I want it to go down. Let's turn on the rotary spin table, to be honest. Oh shoot, and it's damaged. Hence why we have our trusty site truck here, where we can repair the thing. Okay, now that's spinning freely. That's still moving. It's gonna get damaged again. The camera got destroyed. Are we drilling? I can't tell. No, we're not. So what we'd have now is the table spinning. That should be spinning, but it's not. Alright, let's stop it. We have too many moving parts here, and this whole thing is glitching out like crazy. So what I want to do is get this... It's spliced. I can see the splice right there. So it's working as one. Okay. First thing first, let's get this into the hole. What are we off? We looks like we're off, which is why this whole thing's glitching. So we got to move this more up like that. Now when that's up, let's lower this down. Nice and slowly. Okay. We should be entering this hole. And this thing isn't clamping it yet, so this doesn't even matter. But I guess we could. The clamp doesn't really affect the spin. So let's press that. So now we're clamped into the actual spinny thing, and we're still feeding it downwards. Now this is going to start moving like crazy, but that's, well, it's not good. Okay. So presumably now what I heard was that it attached itself to the wellhead. I heard the click. If I jump down here, anchor is anchored. No. Well depth. Drill depth, well depth. Okay. So I have a depth. And I don't know why it keeps connecting and disconnecting. But let's just see what goes on now. So in theory, now we can spin this. And we could lower this thing. Because once that lowers onto the wellhead, or onto the pipe, jeez. Attach, yeah, okay. No, oh my goodness. Something went nuts here. Let's go back down. So that's attached. We're giving it downward force. Our rotary table is spinning. So we have all the things necessary right now to force it in the ground. Except this. Oh. Ooh, oh, whoa. Holy moly. Whoa. Major disaster alert. Holy cow. Everything's gone. The whole tower collapsed, everything's screwed up. Well, that's how we failed Stormworks 2023, guys. Make it stop. Holy. Okay. Back to the drawing board. We had the right idea, I believe. Even the execution, I believe, was fairly good. This thing started to spin and sway and go nuts. Alternatively, without this system of rails, how can we possibly do it? The rail system is less than ideal, I will admit that. But you need to have some method of going up and down in this direction. You can't use pivots. Pivots spin. So it seems to me that you have to have like a second track. What I was saying. Let's quickly see if we can build one of those. So let's attach that. Let's attach that. I mean, of course we can't attach that. It's gonna block our drill. So what we need to do instead is have a separation of some kind, and then we attach it like this. So now with that separation, we can pull this thing up to here where we need it as well. We also need it in a couple more places, all the way up here. And one more place up here. No idea how this is going to work yet, guys, so let's just figure it out. I made it the wrong way. They're oriented wrong. I saw something was funky with them. Okay, we'll pull this down here. And then let's just rotate everything. Nope, yes. Alright, and then we'll pull the track up to the top. For some reason that didn't want to work because of the vent. to the vent is if we start to spill oil everywhere, which at this rate it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. But maybe we can be optimistic. Maybe. And make it spill to the side. Okay, that goes all the way to the top. This connects to this. Yada yada. And this can go pretty much to the ground or whatever, but not to the ground, but instead it goes to the bottom of this thing, which we were talking about earlier. So you actually have to have this like that, but not in that direction, but in this direction, just like that. So now we can remove this stuff, which we don't want anymore. Okay. We have now our two green things, and we'll have to attach these ones via this, and this will have to get attached as well to here. Sure. Down here, this one will attach like to the ladder, whatever, and then one more below. We need to attach it like that. Okay, we have an instant problem, and it's that we're gonna not be able to clear and move past these rods that we have to take, so we can't quite do it like this. My thinking instantly here is to move this out some more, so it's like that. Hopefully nothing's clashing with it. And then, now that we've cleared everything, let's just redo our joints, of course. And now with that redone, this looks so weird. And then here, redone. And the main one that we, like, these two are the ones that we need to have clear, because they're the ones that are going to knock this over. But now we can see that we are clearing it. So what we have to do is actually expand this outwards as such. Ladders are going to become useless like that. Now let's do the same for the bottom, where we have just a bunch of blocks, and same thing here. The idea is that this clears that as we pull into it, and then any higher we don't really need that. Okay, well, let's see if we've done anything, if this works, if it blows up again. That was so bad. Like, I mean, I know this isn't the most well balanced, but that was not good. Okay, down, down, and one more down, and then up, 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 and we gotta repeat it for these other ones here. It's so small down there. Okay, that's the down one. There we go. Down. And then this is the up. And this is up. Just make sure they're in the same direction. Okay, good. Alright, and that wasn't even the highest one. The highest one's here. Down. And I can't even see the joint down there. There we go. Make that down. And then this is up. And make that up. Perfect. Let's take two. See if this works, see if it explodes. If it explodes, I'm done. Oh yeah, also the camera is annoying me. Let's see if we can put the camera in a better place. the camera... Really, we need it to be either above or below. There's nothing else that's going to help us align it unless it's above, directly above, or directly below. We can't put... Oh, we can put it here, but it's going to block our thing. Maybe we could put the camera like so. How that will work, I have no idea. It may just freak out even more, but let's try, because at least then we'll be able to see if we're about to attach to one of the rods. We have our handy dandy welding torch, so we'll see if that can help us save the day. Okay, let's go fetch one. I can't tell, the camera's still not great. Okay, it actually is good. So let's attach it to this and get down here. Perfect. We got one. We want to position ourselves above the wellhead. Oh. And lower this all the way down into the wellhead. Through this thing, which is our spinning whatever. Okay, done. We heard it clip into the wellhead. Okay. Stop it. Oh my goodness, there we go. Okay, we heard it clip into the wellhead. Let's release it from here, and let's pull this thing back. Ooh. Oh, I see. We're gonna be clashing right away. Maybe not right away, but almost right away. Okay, let's try this. Go a little this way, and then forward all the way, and then left. No, see, so it's definitely not happy, and it's definitely hitting something. Because what we were able to do previously is swoop in and attach that to the new rod, whereas now we have this. So we're gonna have to do one of two things: either move that back one back even further. This type of robotic thing is not great right now. But we that one clearance is what's killing us. So we can't have the one clearance. We have to have at least a clearance of 2 behind here to make this work. And likewise, this whole assembly, I'm just gonna move back. It's blocking us, it's too close, and we don't need it to be on our brains right now. So let's free up some space. And lastly, we'll just move this connector for the hose to here. Okay. Now what that gives us is a bit more wiggle room behind. And also this thing was going nuts, which, like, everything is just resting on these legs. Bad idea, as we've noticed. So we have to expand our legs. Let's make a copy and put legs here. And let's do the same on the other side, just because that's causing more instability. It's very top heavy, and these legs are not properly attached to what we need it to do. Alright, let's put that there. Guess we could turn our symmetry back on and make a new track. Like that. And we'll make a track even further back here. That part we don't want, actually. The further back thing is what we tried to eliminate last time, because anything further back will actually not help us, because we're going to be bumping into this. Right now, this is positioned perfectly above it. So these ones are no good. We want it to be hard stop There. No need to move further back than that. Let's attach these things to this. And let's attach this to this. Okay, what have we done here? So now this part is clashing as we have this. We're gonna delete some of these. Luckily the game is not structural engineering, so all this weight can sit there and no one's gonna be harmed. And now this may also help us, because if we put this side now with this stop there, we have that distance of 2. We may need a distance of a bit more. Do we have everything in? Yeah, we do. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. So now this has to be pushed further back, and that track also should be duplicated here. This is turning into quite the project, guys. Normally, these types of things you could like quickly, or not, at least not quickly, but quickly explain what you're trying to do. Whereas this update, as you can see, we're going on, and it's still not even close to working. In fact, I'm more confused than ever at whether I'm doing it right at all. Okay, that will be fine. And as we said, the main reason for our problem was that this whole side, nope, just the one, that whole side is too close and hits the back of this. So let's move this whole thing, including these things. Let's move it all one back at least. Alright, let's see if this will help us at all. And here we gotta move this back as well to clear hitting the that. Now, I mean, I guess we could have just also removed this, and now the whole thing is left freestanding. But what we could do is attach it via extremely long cantilevered arm to this, and if we want to make a column, which again, the game isn't structural, so the game doesn't care if all of these heavy things are resting on a little column. The game doesn't care. So this should now solve our clash problem at least. And this is good. Whatever, at least it reinforced us to make sure this this system is even better now, because it has multiple legs, multiple arms. Everything seems to be attached. Okay. No, these aren't attached. So down and down. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. And up. Okay. Next we need to move these guys. So this is down and up. Okay, let's just hope that's enough. Let us hope that's enough. We'll spawn it and take a look. Okay, our hoses are doing their thing. This is doing their thing. Let's see if we move this left or right. Okay, move it forward. Let's see if we can attach the thing. Oh, we gotta go more than that. Okay. But now we can actually move this contraption a little further back and forward. Okay. Let's attach this and attach this. Okay, we've aligned ourselves. There, we got one. Let's put it in the... Oh my gosh, and I still forgot to put the keypad. Jeez, man. Alright, it's in that, it's in the spinny thing. And it's in the wellhead. Okay. Nope. Alright. That should be in its spot now. In the wellhead. So at least we don't have to worry about it anymore. We need to get another one of these. So this is where we have to move it back and down without clashing into this. Ooh. Oh, we were hitting that now. That's quite annoying. Okay, let's just see if we could repair it and keep going. I don't want to respawn this. Hopefully that's all that was damaged. Alright, I see. We got to move the whole thing up higher. That's kind of the problem. So we move it up higher. Not a big deal. And now we move it across. And then we move it towards it. Are we aligned with one? Let's see. Kind of. Alright. Now we clamp that. And let's go and see which one we're aligned to. This one. Sure. Ah! It's gone. Nope, it's not gone. Let's do it. Can I put it in? Manually? Okay. Alright, let's get it out of here. Throw it down there. We're just gonna waste all these things. Did I turn the button on? I did. I'll turn them both on. Okay, it's fine. Let's find ourselves another one. There. We should have a lot to choose from here. Okay. Obviously, got to consider access and all this other stuff that I didn't think about as you're jumping around down here. Because you have to have a worker down here that will take your rod and position it into there. There we go. Okay, at least it's in. Alright, now, before we damage anything else, let's think what we gotta do. We gotta take this thing to the left. I don't want to hit that wellhead again. Okay, now we gotta bring this up into the next one. Let's go up. And as we get up, we gotta also bring this to the left-hand side all the way. There, now they're perfectly lined above each other. Let's move this down slowly. As that moves up. Now that, we move it up until it gets into the top one, which is where it is now. So we can stop them moving up. There. Okay. Next thing we'll do is lower the whole, or have this one enter and pull it in to where they reach this mechanism. So we got to turn on, actually we have to lower this one a bit now until it reaches the connector area. Okay, and let's lower this whole thing in. They're getting close. Now, why is this not connected yet? I need that one to connect. Until that one connects, it won't really do anything. And it should be connecting, it's in there. I may need to go and manually touch it. Let's see if we can touch it. Do I have something I could stand on? Oh my goodness. There we go. Pick. this thing doesn't say it's connected. Oh. Okay. Yes! Now, they're both in. And we need to position this one a little higher or bring this whole thing lower until they're both in that area. So let's move this one up a little. We'll until we can get them aligned. There we go. Let's go. Did it not bring it up at all? No, it didn't. Let's go. Maybe we just have to move the whole thing down again. This part is what I don't... There. Beautiful. Okay, we got one. Fantastic. And it's not shaking like crazy. So we have one. We're happy. They're aligned. And they're attached, presumably. Let's disconnect this one. We don't need it anymore. Let's only use the bottom one and make sure we're in the right spot to lower it. Or do we want to lower that head first? Let's lower the head. Yes, okay, it's in. Things are shaking a bit, but it's in. Okay. And what, now we have to start the spinning, I guess? And then we start pushing this thing down. Well, let's start it. And then what, push this down? Everything died. Sounds like we're drilling. We're pushing that down. This is spinning. Okay. I don't know if the slurry's pumping properly. I can't tell. Like, are we going down? We've gone down a bit, actually. Interesting. So presumably, I don't see oil coming out of that, but it seems that we penetrated into the wellhead from what the thing said. So what if we stop this now? Okay, what if we stop this? Are we in the well itself? Like, I can't tell at all. Because that's how we'd pump the crude out. You do that, and then down, and it would like shoot out of that spout. Presumably. But what I see down here is it's saying that the drill depth is equal to the well depth. Which would imply that we've hit oil. At least that's what I'd think. I mean, what if we keep spinning it? What if we keep pushing it down? Like, I don't know. And do we just force this thing down, or do we also force this down as well? So now I'm just pushing everything downwards. So we also have a top speed on this thing. We can't go any faster than that, otherwise things start to get crazy. The slurry. I have no idea if the slurry is working as it should. Like, what if we disconnect this hose? It says there's things flowing through it. not shooting things out. But it's spinning. And down here, it's saying that we're at the level, which previously was saying 0 and 0. So I think we may have done it. Not quite sure. But this is the closest I can tell right now. And this pumping action doesn't seem to be working properly. Or maybe just the crude can't flow out of that type of slot. But regardless, this is spinning. And then what if we climb up this? Oh, that thing is way too high. I need a higher ladder to see if we're pumping water through it or whatever. But yeah, to me, this looks like we've done something. And what, we have to pump the slurry out, so that's what I was saying. You'd get to a level where you break into the well, so now you'd stop it. You'd attach your, you'd stop this thing too. Okay, so now presumably we're inside the well with our rod. Okay, we gotta pump out the slurry out of the thing. So this is where you do this thing. But I don't know if this is too slow. Like, maybe you have to do it fast. I don't see anything coming out. Anyway, that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys learned something. Maybe you could take this design and take it to the next level and complete it and make it work properly. But this to me is an oil drilling platform, or an oil rig, oil derrick, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, hope you enjoyed watching, and I can't wait to see the creations that you guys make. So take care and happy Stormworksing.